Welcome to another day in the Matrix. This will be Red Pill episode number 19. One of the few good things in this world that'll end with the number 19. If you guys are in the morning time, go ahead, grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea. If it's the nighttime for you, go ahead, grab yourself a glass of wine, glass of beer, or a beverage of your choice. Let's relax. Sundays and Red Pill episodes are all about relaxation, calm energy. So in this one, we're going to touch on a lot of things, but I do want to cover a couple things quickly before we get into it. Number one, we've had a lot of people joining the Mastermind community membership here on Patreon, and I've been getting a lot of comments in videos here on Patreon and also a lot of emails in regards to being added to the Discord server. I cannot add people that way. What I need people to do, if you haven't gotten into our Discord server, you need to go ahead and send me a direct message here on Patreon. Then I will reply back with your Discord invite. So go ahead, log into your Patreon account if you're not already. I would assume that's the way you could watch this, but anyway. Then go ahead and direct message me with your Discord username, and then I will go ahead and send you an invite that way. That is the way that this whole process works, and I actually mentioned that earlier in the month, and people still keep emailing me. So I'm actually probably going to get rid of my email soon because the channel's growing quite big, and it's just, no matter how many times I give directions, it still kind of seeps through the cracks. And again, that's not about being low vibe. That's just about me maintaining my vibe and my mission to grow this and spread this word. So for now, just make sure that that's the process we move forward with. And I would greatly appreciate another thing from everyone when it comes to these Red Pill episodes and people submitting cryptocurrencies that you want me to look at for the episode. I would like everyone to go ahead and submit whatever coin you want me to look at. And then for anyone, before you write a new comment in the videos of a new coin, if you see someone else who's commented the coin that you're interested in, just go ahead and like that comment. That'll be like a voting system from now on. So I can only fit in outside of Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum. I can only fit in about 5 or 6 of these to keep these episodes in a reasonable amount of time for everyone. And I would like to keep these slightly under an hour moving forward, just for the sake of compiling information and data, but also making it a little bit more like a podcast and including any information and stream of consciousness that I have to share at that time. Moreover, in addition to the altcoin TA. So I know everyone's interested in what's going on with some particular altcoins, but please remember that at the end of the day, everything's going to move the way Bitcoin moves and the way that Ethereum moves. And XRP is more of a indicator that I've been using to understand when we're going to get bigger moves in the market. And that might sound complicated if you're new here, but for those of you who've been following my work for a while, I provide pretty much 3 to 4 videos every single week on YouTube with Bitcoin and XRP analysis. Again, because the focus is always on Bitcoin. When Bitcoin is bearish, all of your altcoins are bearish. When Bitcoin's bullish, all of the altcoins eventually get bullish. It saves a lot of time, actually, to just focus on the bigger players. The same thing going with Ethereum. So in these Red Pill episodes, I'm going to try to start off every single one of them with Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum, just to kind of get the bigger players in the space and give you guys an overall outlook. But there might be some times where, the XRP analysis kind of covers what's going on with ETH and vice versa. And for the most part, it will cover what's going on with a lot of those other altcoins. So let's try to use these more to keep the podcast a Red Pill episode, where we could talk about some things that are a little bit more in line with ideas that are going on in my live streams, or perhaps what's going on in the markets as a whole, the energy. And then we kind of can conclude everything with our altcoin TA on a couple of coins that you guys pick. That would kind of be the protocol I want moving forward. Now, I would appreciate, since there's so many newer people here, and there's also a lot of older members that have been here for a while, Betty, Naz, Ethan, David, You guys are amazing. It's so great that everyone's been here for so long. Robin, Brandon, Zono, everyone here that's been with me since the beginning. Zero fucks given. You guys are amazing. You know, like I am so vibrationally aligned with all you beautiful people. And I would really appreciate, you know, as we get newer members in here, if any of the people who've been with us for a while in our Discord, Jody, of course, another amazing wolf in our pack, Pam, man, I could just keep naming all of you superstars. Like I really have some deep love and gratitude for all of you. Seriously. I don't even know how to say it in words. Again, if I didn't mention your name, you're in my mind, every single one of you. And I'm just bringing this up because I would like to have this be a communal effort in regards to if somebody asks too many questions that are unrelated to a specific thread, or perhaps one of the text channels, you know, people are just asking excessive questions that might be covered in like the Mastermind course or covered in a previous Red Pill episode, or if somebody's in the health and wellness channel asking for me to decode quant. That kind of stuff is just, you know, we could moderate the whole community as a team. I think that would be a better way to go than any other opportunity. This way, it's more that, you know, we're just a big family and we're helping each other navigate the Discord. Big shout outs to everyone over this past week boosting our Discord. Wow, we literally went from level 1 to level 3. Again, big shout out to Novi, I believe, newer member that just joined. Appreciate you. You boosted our server quite a bit in a single go. This is great, you know, unlocking level 2 and level 3. We're at the top now, so we don't have any extra features we could possibly add besides what our creativity is. So anyone who's more advanced in Discord than I am, which I would assume might be a lot of you because I didn't even really know about Discord until I started my YouTube channel. Again, shouts out to Soda if you're listening to this. Much love to you, Ambrose. But yeah, I mean, it's more about utilizing whatever we could utilize that we've unlocked in terms of the features. Again, we could do full-blown like movie uploads now. We could upload quite a lot of information. So if there's documentaries that you guys have saved, you know, like some serious red pill information that could get scrapped from YouTube, but it's like really good stuff, you know, you could actually just upload it to our server now. And I'm going to start including some categories, like different categories to keep everything in. So there'll be like a crypto one, there'll be one for decoding, and then we'll just kind of be able to compile the data a little better. And then we will have eventually our live streams here. So the Patreon is doing amazing. It's growing. This Discord is growing the community. Of course, it would be great to have more interaction. And I think to start doing live streams there would bring a lot of interaction. And trust me, when this bull runs over, it's going to be great to be able to do where everyone could do live streams. I mean, it's not just about me. I would like it so that if you guys have a skill and there's something else that, you know, if you guys have TA you want to share, you could live stream your TA. We're all open-minded here, you know, like I think that would be beautiful. If you guys wanted to share a decode, you know, screen cap your decode in a screen recording and then share that with us. And you could do that through Discord now. So you can get really creative. I suggest people just go onto YouTube and type in Discord level 2, level 3, and learn about the perks we unlocked and learn about the more fancy stuff we could do on our Discord. I think that'll be really awesome to see what you guys consider. And if there's any ideas that you have for me, feel free to share that information. I'm thinking about opening up like a general chat just for like, if people are confused of where to put a particular piece of information, it could go there. But I don't want to include more text channels. I want to try to keep the amount of text channels we have right now at a bare minimum. We've actually unlocked threads, so we could keep threads that are within text channels, and that would be very useful for people if you want to talk about something specific. Like, let's just say there's a specific astrological event going on and you only want to kind of hone in on that and you want people to chime in and keep it relevant within that particular topic. You can open up a thread. And that's as easy as going, you could write your comment, and then after you write your comment, you hover over it, and usually where you'll see to like add an emoji reaction or something like that, you could actually see there's a new button now that will be for creating a thread. So I am not the greatest at Discord, so I don't know if I would be the elected one to create a tutorial for all this stuff, but I suppose I could figure that stuff out. I just think it would be better if everyone on their own time maybe could just share their insights, and we could get a little bit more tech savvy in regards to the Discord, because now that we're at level 3, we're there for the whole year. And that's a year from today. So this is a lot of time we're going to have to play around with these features and just get better at using it for a community forum, because that's pretty much what it is. And it's amazing. I've been on some forums in the past, and this is like an extremely active forum. Been seeing 100 people online almost all the time. We have like 600 people in it. Again, we're going to continue to grow, like, especially since my channel's getting up there in subscribers. It's going to attract the algorithm a little more. That's sort of how YouTube works. And this time out of all times, it's getting dark in the world. And when darkness sets in, people who are illumined, people who are awake, are going to seek community. I'm sure that's what all of you are like. That's why I wanted to do this. Again, I've told you guys publicly that I didn't want to make a YouTube channel. I was more secluded. I'm very hermituitous in my life. I'm not like out and about screaming from the mountains, telling people my thoughts. I was very quiet about all this stuff until I was kind of motivated to do what I did, and I did, and I'm so glad that I did it now, because the reactions that I'm getting to my work beyond just crypto have been making, like, yeah, I wake up every day and I'm so grateful for what's going on. And sorry, like, to be going out on this kind of rant. I don't know if it would be considered a rant, but I'm just really grateful. Like, I'm really seriously, I am so, I guess blessed would be the word. But I also understand that it's going to get bigger. And as it gets bigger and we attract more people, there's going to be a need for moderation and to just keep it on track, you know, like, and that's what we need to focus on as we're growing. So moreover, it's just to preface that I appreciate all the people that have been here for a while. If anyone joins and they seem to not be following the vibrational flow of our Discord, it may be best, just as to a community of people who've been here for a while, to help people get into the right mind state and to be full of wonder. You know, that's always been my message. That's always been sort of my methodology to crypto and to everything in life. It's more about unlearning, you know? It's not about one way rules them all. You know, I love the infinite quality to consciousness. I don't believe that anyone has found the answer. The answer is purely just the solution of the path of least resistance. And if that doesn't make sense to you, it's me trying to say that the answer is typically the outcome of what everyone agrees on is the easiest way to do something. It doesn't necessarily mean it's right. Look at the way society operates right now. I mean, it's inevitable what we've done. We've created a monster, and we're part of that monster. That monster is an algorithm. It's a machine, but it is what it is, you know? I think it's interesting to look at reality through that lens. And through that lens, we're able to see that, wow, you know, like, through finding community, sometimes we want to spread our truths, but sometimes we feel our truth should be others. And that is the antithesis of what I want to do with this group. I want to have my truths, your truths, everyone's truths to come together. But mostly what the mission statement is to empower each other, to find love in all the fear that's been installed into people's consciousness. That's really what I want to do here. I want to make this about love. You know, I want to make this about being a family, because at the end of the day, we might be a part of a family that's breaking down in our local lives. I hope you know what I mean by that. We've had families torn apart by this C word thing. We've had relationships ended just because of this jab. We're watching society sort of slowly collapse. And this is why I'm so motivated and working so much to keep this going, because it's going to get dark, and I think we could all feel that. And I wouldn't normally talk about these things at this length, but I just want to kind of set that in motion, as prices in crypto are all up and everything's bullish and people are FOMOing in, I always start to go opposite once things are going in the direction that the masses are typically expecting it to, how do I say this? When everyone has their head up their asses, that's typically when the government does their rituals. So just be protected, be focused on love, be focused on this community, and keeping this community as open-minded and full of wonder as possible. And that'll keep the vibrations high, and that'll make every day that we're here in this internet realm free of anxiety, free of stress, and it'll be a beacon of light, a place for us to be able to have family when the world is doing what the world does, which is typically self-destruct. I know that sounds grim, but it's the red pill. Now let's move on to what we're doing here. Beyond the voting on crypto projects to make the red pill episodes a little easier to select what altcoins we'll look at. Again, anyone who's listening to this transmission who is not in our Discord, go ahead and personal message me here on Patreon and I will get you invited. And after that, just a little clarity on a couple things regarding what's going on in price action right now. Again, we have a new moon tonight. New moons themselves aren't necessarily bullish. No particular day is necessarily bullish. It's just fluctuating prices that have an energy that moves bullish into a new moon as far as 5 days to even 10 days after new moons, on average 5. And it's the opposite for full moons. That is it. We have so many people talking about this new moon and full moon indicator, but they're kind of getting too caught up in the minutia, when it's more about just being able to have something that's a compass to give us the general direction we're going in. It's like Polaris, like North Star, kind of the right direction, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy to complete that going straight. There's going to be obstacles in the way. There's going to be a tree fell over, or there's a big mountain range there, or there's a big, ocean. You can't just keep going straight to follow the North Star. You're going to have to go around once in a while and hop over some hoops. So be okay with that. That's what the TA is for. That's what the analysis is for. So whatever's going on astrologically, just remember that time is man-made. Time is completely fabricated. The year 2021 is complete nonsense. Everything that's going on right now is manipulated to make humanity plasmatize their belief into time. And who's the controller of time? Saturn. Saturn is Father Time, who is also the ruler of Earth. And that is why we are in bondage in the Matrix. We are in the physical body. The physical body ages. Age is a byproduct of time continuing linearly, okay? Consciousness, on the other hand, is infinite. It is fractal in nature, and it's forever expanding. It's like pi. It's like pi or Fibonacci or any endless sequence. So, with that being said, might have some astrology people in the group, a lot of people talking about this Lionsgate stuff. Don't get lost in the sauce. Focus on the bigger picture. Each day is not that important. It's all about just being able to zoom out and see the big picture. And that's we're in a bull run. We're in a bull run that just had 2 back-to-back eclipses. Those were massive. They happened around here when we got our big dump and then went sideways. We've stayed sideways all the way up until around the full moon of July. And then we've gotten our relief rally into this time frame of August. Now, this is what happens every single bull run. Let's just go back and we'll track this and you'll see what I mean. So we go back into the 2017 bull run, and you can see right here when we were in this dip of July, we had a relief rally all throughout August, literally until the beginning of September. We went on an uptrend, okay? This is something else I've told people about, is we can reach a microcycle top around our new moon, which is tonight, pull back a little bit, but then continue into the end of the month, all the way up until the September new moon. An uptrend is all that matters. Trend is your friend. That's all that matters. One isolated day of pulling back, or because of Lionsgate, or because of whatever color underwear Brad Garlinghouse is wearing, disregard that shit. Stop looking at Twitter. It's all just there to manipulate you. That's all it's there for. It's emotions, okay? We give emotions to the cosmos, and that's what gets created as the byproduct. Think about that. That's a big red pill. So let's look at the 2013 cycle, and we'll see what else is going on there. Okay, so this was the bull market of 2013 right here. We got a top in April, then we got our lows into July, and then relief rally all the way until the very end and starting September. So if you look at the last two bull runs, they had an uptrend almost identical, where they had a pullback into July and then rallied in an uptrend all the way until the literal beginning of September. September 3rd in 2013 and September 2nd in the 2016 cycle. Now let's look to 2020. So blow your minds. So we're going to go to 2020. Look at this crown top formation that I've been telling everyone about. Okay. Hit the highs around the middle of August, came down for a little bit around the end of the month, but then still, look, the first day of September, green, and then pulls back into the 3rd of September. So let's just go ahead and assume that August can be bullish for the entire month overall. There could be dips, but even this dip right here, on the day of that dip, you might have been freaking out. You might have had some astrological reason why that might be happening. But if you were just patient and waited 4 days, you were pretty much right back at the top. That's why you guys haven't heard me, being bearish at all. Because these little days they're irrelevant. They're seriously irrelevant. You guys would be mind blown. I get a comment on my videos once every day of somebody saying, tomorrow Three Gorges Dam is going down and Bitcoin's going to zero. I swear to you, I get this comment all the time. I've actually been getting it since April. This is like people have been parasited by Twitter. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It makes me speechless sometimes how insane people can get, okay? Just follow the charts. If we're seeing that August in and of itself, like if you look right here, from the lows to the highs of the last day of August, okay, all the way to September 1st, that's a pretty nice gain, 37, 38%. And then when we pulled back, we actually made higher lows. So this is the opportunity here. This is around the Rosh Hashanah timeframe. So a little bit of clarity on the Shemitah and how that affects crypto. It's not possible to really discuss that because Bitcoin is the only crypto that was really around during Shemitah. So in 2014, 2015, there was a Shemitah and Bitcoin was it. That's all. So if we want to talk about how that affects crypto, all we can talk about really is Bitcoin. And that's what's problematic here. When we talk about these things, we have to be highly speculative and theoretical when it comes to these altcoins. And again, it's another reason why I focus so much on Bitcoin in regards to the general market as a whole. It could save a lot of time. So we see these pullbacks coming into very early September, time and time again, pretty much. Now, let's see what was going on here in terms of the cycles. Okay, so we had our new moon into August, we got our highs, and then we dumped into that full moon of September. But remember, last year, the full moons were in the beginning of the months, and the new moons were near the end, so it was flipped. So that's something interesting to consider as well. That chart looks very, very, okay, cool. So another thing that I've brought up is these Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve cycles. And you can see down here, this was the top of August. It actually topped out on one of the curves. And that was something that I was thinking about entertaining. I've told people like it's possible for us to hit a $50,000 Bitcoin. And that would make a lot of sense, basically bashing into the top of this median line. and not creating new highs for this market until around the second or third week of October. So Bitcoin is a little bit more predictable than everything else. Obviously, you guys are probably aware of that now if you've been following my work for a while. So we could get a pullback and then hit this high and then actually start to crown out into the next month and do something like that. I think I shared all these already in my previous YouTube video, so I don't want to keep reiterating the opportunities here. But with that being said, we could perhaps move through this current new moon, dump a little bit into like the 39s, and then in the September new moon, head up. Now, the September new moon is around Shemitah. It's actually the same day, so let's just look at the exact day. Rosh Hashanah is on the 6th through 8th. So the new moon is on the 6th of September, okay? That is when Rosh Hashanah is. So we could possibly move up bullish into that price. But remember all the crazy dates we have? Like we have the Friday the 13th coming up on August 13th. We have the 15th of August, which is the 50th year anniversary of the Nixon shock. So much going on. So this is a very hard month to call, but overall we were correct about having bullish energy, and the price of Bitcoin went up to 45,000. I believe it hit the 200. Yep, it did. Just like we said on the YouTube video. Resistance on that 200 simple moving average, and that's what happened. So I mentioned in that video that I wouldn't be surprised if we hit this either yesterday or today on the new moon, and then we have to give it a little bit of time to get it to like the 11th or 12th, hit it on the 12th, and I gave my reasons why, because of 666 weeks and 6 days since the release of the Bitcoin white paper, the Satoshi white paper. So the clarity here is that the Shemitah, we've never seen crashes before Shemitah or during, really, until midway through. So what I anticipate happening is a very similar cycle to what we've seen before with Bitcoin, which is all-time highs in December. Then we get a bull trap into the January new moon. Take note of what I just said. Then after that bull trap where we fail on the 786 fib, we start a downtrend that lasts a year long. During that downtrend, Bitcoin will probably lose 60 to 70% of its value, and the altcoins, including XRP, including Ethereum, including all these ISO 20022 coins, will lose 90% of their value. 90. Remember what I just said. If you don't take that seriously, you're probably going to hodl all of those coins and you're going to get fleeced. Okay? So just remember, everything's a psyop. Everything. If they give you evidence and breadcrumbs, it's just to give you information. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true or the way. It's the stuff that you need to figure out on your own that makes you illumined. Okay? So this ISO 20022 thing has been given to us. Just like Q, just like Nasara Jasara, just like all of that madness. And look at how it's turned out. It's created a bunch of people who sit around waiting for things to happen that are done by your government. Let's see. The least trustworthy group of people on this planet. You're going to trust in waiting on them for good to come? I'll let you answer that for yourself. Anything regarding government and any of these cryptos that are regarding government doesn't necessarily mean they will inflate in price. It means they are controlled by an entity. And that's all you really need to know. Study the cycles, get out of the cycle before it pops, and then reinvest when the cycle bottoms out. If you can do that, you could be rich. Okay? Remember, GE and all of these railroads and all of the things that used to be part of the Industrial Revolution, these were things that were created, operated, and controlled by the elites, like the railroads by Rockefeller, for instance, and they still crashed it. They crashed it on purpose, okay? So if people think that there's things that'll be unscathed through the next crash, you don't study history. Just study history. And if people that say that things can be different, it's there's always a chance for something new to happen. Okay, you could think that. But remember, the reason history repeats itself is because the parasites that control our planet wrote the laws, and they study the occult. They are part of the occult. They are part of secret societies. They create crashes to make the dollar deflationary, to have a time off. That's why Shemitah means release. It's a sabbatical year. It's for the elites to take a year off while the masses are disharmonized, while the masses are living in shambles. This is why they do it. They're not going to make it so that a couple of isolated crypto coins do well because a YouTuber told you, okay? Again, like, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing in the charts historically, time after time after time. And when you go back to that website, 99 Bitcoins, and you see the hundreds of times that Bitcoin was killed, Bitcoin was dead, even though it went from less than a penny to $60,000 throughout that whole time frame, every single time that it dipped, all the other cryptos dipped significantly more. There's never been a single time, unless a particular crypto that you're discussing wasn't even invented then. But if they were around when Bitcoin was around, it sure as hell dipped. So just remember, like, this sector is being ran by astrology. Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, who is Saturn, who is Father Time, and the King of Earth. That's all. You don't have to overthink that. Ethereum is aether, the air that the gods breathe, okay? Aether. You have the air the mortals breathe, and you have the air that the gods breathe. Ethereum. Think about this. Don't get lost in the sauce, okay? It's important that you study your mythologies and that you're okay at accepting these red pills, because once you can accept them, you can now accept the thousands and thousands of years of control that the human race has been put under by these cults. And these cults aren't a joke. If you've studied these elites at all, you know that they take these rituals very seriously, because by doing such, they get to play God on earth. All they're trying to do is be the Titans. They're just trying to be Zeus. That's all they do. And the way they can do that is by making the mortals, feel like they're mortals. That's why everything about this reality is always about scaring you, putting fear in you, to take your godliness and put it on pause so that you fall victim to their spellcasting. That is merely it. That's why I've been trying lately to show you guys that it's all about the spells. Don't let anything take your power away, because once you do that, once you get scared of anything in this realm, you become exactly what the elites want you to become, which is to transfer power away from yourself and forfeit it to them. That's all they're really doing. They're not confiscating the wealth of your bank account. They're confiscating the wealth of your soul. And that's why everything is ran by this Hegelian dialectic. It's Bitcoin bad, XRP good, Republican bad, Democrat good, liberal this. It's always about duality with these people because they're at the lower levels. When people understand that it's all a big picture and it's all part of one thing, then they can see the cosmic harmony in it all. And that's what will enlighten them to remove their emotions from this financial game. That's a big pill to swallow, but it's helped me immensely in being able to navigate this market. So, anyways, what's going on with this upcoming Shemitah? It's going to be interesting to see how it goes, but I've studied the Amazon charts from the past two Shemitah, and it seems as if both Amazon all-time highs happened exactly in December on a new moon, and then they pulled back, crashed into a Shemitah the following year. I believe that they are putting Bitcoin on the same algorithm that they put Amazon on, and now Bitcoin is just the future. Amazon was the future until it took over. Right now, Bitcoin hasn't necessarily taken over because it wasn't designed to yet. It's all on a time frame. And remember what I just said, because during the dot-com bubble, Amazon lost 95% of its value. And people literally call Bitcoin volatile. But go study Amazon. Amazon lost 95. Bitcoin has never lost 95% of its value during a crash, ever. It's lost about 82% most, I believe, maybe 84% on one crash. Amazon's lost 95%, okay? Think about this. And and then if you stare at the charts going back from the dot-com bubble crash to looking at it today, it was the greatest buying opportunity ever. Ever. So whenever Bitcoin and these cryptos are crashing immensely, all it is buying opportunities to get into a nascent asset class of the future. So you better believe when we crash into 2022, all the way leading into 2023, if we see these cryptos lose 80 to 90% of their value, we want to do what geniuses do, what the elites do. We buy that dip. But we're going to need to be patient. And there'll be opportunities in between there and then. There'll be trading opportunities. There'll be opportunities to long the dollar especially. And consider buying land. Consider buying houses if the housing market crashes. All of that stuff. It's a comprehensive protocol that we could be a part of. We just got to pay attention to the truth and get away from the distractions. And that's exactly how we're going to be able to overcome this market. So one other thing before we move on, we have this hash ribbons indicator that I was talking about a little bit in my course probably a couple months back, and we had it going up here. And then what happened was a beautiful thing. The Chinese miners started moving out, and this is great. This is the best thing that's ever happened to Bitcoin. Again, it created a pullback for Bitcoin. It's noticeable in the hash ribbons. How crazy this is. You see how much of a discrepancy this red is compared to the other ones? I mean, that's a huge drop in network security. So this was because miners were leaving China primarily and relocating. And where they're relocating to will make Bitcoin even better. And it'll make it even more secure. And it will make it even more decentralized. Again, so if Three Gorges Dam breaks, doesn't matter because we cleared out the problem. Nobody's really talking about that. And this hash ribbons indicator, essentially, it'll flip a bright green dot, and then eventually it'll flip a blue buy signal. And when it does this, historically, Bitcoin never returns back to that price at a lower level ever again. I'll repeat that. When that blue buy signal comes, about 10 days to 2 weeks after it, we will never see that price ever again. And that is historically what that indicator has shown us. And I could almost bet that that's going to flip sometime in late September. September to October. And that'll be exactly in alignment with all the theories here. Again, look at the last time the blue buy signal flashed. It was right back around December when Bitcoin was trying to break the all-time high around 19,000. Then it backed up. It actually flashed blue and went down for like a week or two. And then the rest is history. It went from $17,600 to $64,000 in just 3 or 4 months. Pretty massive. And if you took this indicator seriously for Bitcoin and you paid attention to Bitcoin dominance at the same time, you could have gotten in some serious altcoin gains. Because if you go back to for instance, the Theta chart back in December or November, wow, what a performer. The same thing with T-Fuel. So this blue buy signal, this hash ribbons indicator, it only works for Bitcoin. Don't use it on other stuff because it's not really that great. Use it on Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin flashes blue, give it some time. It could pull back for a little bit, but then once it gets its lows in on that structure, it never goes below those prices again. So pretty interesting stuff. But again, I've talked about it as early as my first week or so of making my course videos back in basically October 2020, almost a year ago. So that's something we'll keep an eye out on. And if I see that flash blue, I will absolutely let you guys know. Again, the indicator is called the hash ribbons indicator. You should only use it on Bitcoin because it's for the Bitcoin hash rate. Let's move on to XRP. Also, I'm really happy to be getting this pullback today. Awesome. Really great to see. Let me take this nonsense off. Okay, let's run through this really quickly because we talk about XRP quite often. So we got above the 200 simple moving average yesterday. That's an amazing daily close. Now we're kind of dumping a little bit below it, but I would say if we can get this close tonight to hold support on this 200, that'd be a really good sign. We have this 8 simple moving average crossing above the 200 exponential moving average. That's very good to see. Let's check all. Okay, our RSI again getting rejected exactly at 70. That's another good sign. I don't want to see this stuff just green candles to heaven. That's not good. Unhealthy. So we could see obviously the MACD on the daily is looking good. It's the 2 days looking 3 day great. 5 day has some room, but let's see. When's the next 5 day closure? 5 day closures tonight. Beautiful. Okay. So this 5 day closure tonight is probably something I should look at with Bitcoin. Oh man. Bullish. Wow. And the MACD cross on the 5 day. This looks messy. I'm going to hide everything just so you guys can see the crazy shit that I'm seeing. Wow, dude. That looks like a bottom to me, fellas. Fellas and sisters. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know how anyone could be bearish on this shit. It's like, anyways, great. Yep. 5 day cross probably in 2 or 3 weeks for XRP. That would all be flipped bullish for my taste. Let's see the weekly and see where we're at on this. Oh, amazing. Wow. Really, really great to see this. This would be a closure on the weekly above all key moving averages with the 21 and the 34 sloping up, and then we would get that close above the 21 exponential on the weekly. That's bullish, guys. So this looks fucking great. This looks great. I would like to see it cool off. Tonight's close at 78 or 79 cents would be great. I know it was at 84 cents earlier, whatever. It doesn't matter. This weekly holding above this level is what's more important. XRP can move from 84 cents to $1.20 in a single day. So as for price momentum and price action, you never need to think about that really. It's about getting structure. And this could be some potential cup and handle in the making. Something like this. Back testing the 236, make our handle, and then boo. And then I guess you could do a measured move. I'm not in logarithmic, so see, is that about where our neckline would be? Yep, and that's $1.38, folks. That's something to look out for, XRP fans. Cup and handle potential on that weekly for a breakout about to the 618, and that would confirm the $1.40 area that we've been talking about time and time again. The $1.40 to $1.50 makes a lot of sense if it's going to really get bullish for a bull trap, and that's because XRP equals the 14 and the 15 using Gematria. It equals 15 in the Chaldean cipher. So that's something to look out for. The 21 exponential close tonight on the weekly is very nice to see, and also that 13 as well. So this looks great, guys. Crypto's looking good. But again, crypto's looking even better because it's not just going straight up to heaven, you know? Like, it was beautiful to see Ethereum. Excuse me. So Ethereum went to $3,170. Then it pulled back, and then it only went up to 3,187. I could probably go on the hourly and show you guys that. Yeah, you see this double top shenanigans? right there. So getting out at that $1.30, I feel awesome about that. That was a good average play. Anyone who got out above it, 150, that's a great play. That's looking great. Now we're getting the pullback, and that was why we set that level, because going anything above 3,200 was not expected for now. Waiting to that 33rd week of the year, that's kind of what I was anticipating. So that was a beautiful exit. I had a great leverage long too on that one, so beautiful. When the TA comes out the way that you've been working so hard to, practice for the plays that you actually do in the market, that's a beautiful thing. It's one thing to listen to someone else's TA, and it's another thing to do your own and do the move, not get overly greedy, and exit and just make your profits and walk away. That's great stuff. So as for Ethereum, it's really just kind of doing what we anticipated, topping out around that measured move of the W. We exceeded that. And now on the 4 hour, holding the 21 would be good. Let's look on the weekly. I mean, I could only imagine everything is amazing. Yeah, this is... Ethereum is like the best performer, like when all these shit coins take a shit, the good shit starts doing good, it's like... That's why we're going to do so well in this market, guys, because everyone gets lost in the sauce with these stupid shit coins, and then they disregard the majors. And the majors are here to, the blue chips, they're here to stay. They have the volatility that's in your favor, of course, because this is still a very young asset class. But then you're not highly speculative, you don't need to worry about ETH going anywhere because MicroStrategy owns a grip of it. And the whole stock market is pretty much going to flip on ETH because of Ameribor. So if anyone does the slightest bit of research, it's kind of interesting too how Flare Network sucked in so many XRP people and also sucks in people on Doge. People think that Flare is fictional. It's not even real. Until it's here, it's not here. You feel me? That shit might not come out until March of 2022. So why would everyone put all their eggs in a fictional basket, right? I'd rather have a working operating technology that I put my chips in for my gambling, So it's just interesting how so many people have fought this Doge narrative saying that, oh, well, Flare's Flare network will run Doge and whatever the fuck. And it's like, that's what's making you bullish on it? Seriously? Something that doesn't even exist? Okay, well, tells a lot about where your investment thesis is, Again, another red pill, hard to swallow, but it's realistic. You got to be realistic with yourselves, It's just part of the game. The reason Doge moves up and down in volatility is because it's an altcoin, and altcoins do that. Now, first and foremost, it's literally a meme. So I get why it attracts certain people. But again, was that Mark Twain says everything that's popular is wrong? So if you invested in Doge when it wasn't popular, you were right. When you invested it when it was popular, you were probably wrong. And that's where you always have to make a move that's opposite the average person. Again, follow the moon. Don't follow Twitter. So let's move on to Theta because we have a lot of interest in Theta and T-Fuel. Theta is lacking volatility lately because it's been pumping really hard some days and then it stops and it's just kind of been all over the place. Let's see our indicators on the weekly. Okay, so you could see I have my fibs pulled in reverse here because I'm looking at Theta from more of a buying opportunity perspective. My de-risking levels are up here at the 11s and 13s. And also another thing, somebody commented on yesterday's video asking about giving levels on buying back coins and stuff. I don't give investment or trading advice. I don't have the time to give every single coin. Unless you're a private client of mine, I'm never going to be able to do that because I don't have the time to do that. So whatever I expose in these red pill episodes is is a lot. You know, I'm giving so many videos every week, everything. Like, you know, I'm taking a lot of time out of my day. For me to be able to give buying targets is kind of like disrespectful to ask in a sense, because I'm giving you all the TA to be able to figure that out yourself. You know, you pull the fib from the breakout level to the all-time high, from the 618 to the 888 fib is your buying zone. Like, that's what I've been telling people every red pill episode. So if you're new here, go ahead, watch other red pill episodes when the prices were more bearish in the market, you know, maybe like in May or late May into June. That will give you a lot of insights into what I do. And also my mastermind course does that as well. But to just email me and ask me what the buying target is on like IOTA, like that's really, really not cool, because you're just asking people for someone else to do all the hard work for you. And that's not how this world works. First of all, if I don't talk about it, that means I don't clearly care too much about it. So if I'm talking about it ever in my videos and I share my sentiments, I will also be exposing what I'm buying and the price targets, etc. But if it's just some random coin that you're interested in, there's 11,000 cryptos. You know what I mean? 11,000. Do you think that it's possible for somebody who, first of all, tells everyone that Bitcoin is the only chart that really is mattering, to come out and give all of these price targets for all of these coins? You know, it's difficult. So like I said, I'll keep everyone updated in my what I'm buying, what I'm selling in regards to my plays, but I'm not going to give you levels in advance, because it's impossible for me. I have too many things going on in my life. So again, this isn't for trading. I think the trading communities are something I would never get into personally, just because I think it's a really parasitic and poisonous environment. There's too much emotions in it for people. When you're trading, there's a lot of emotions. And if I exposed my price targets for buying and selling in regards to the doing it in advance, it would be way too much chaos. And I know how to protect my energy, and I hope you learn how to protect your energy as well if you're one of those people. So with Theta, I believe this is one of the few coins that is still sort of in that buying range. And what I could show you really quickly is on this daily chart, we can see that this coin became extremely oversold and then had this V-shaped recovery. To me, in Wyckoff method, this looks like a spring. Okay, so this was your buying climax up here. Then you had your selling climax, automatic rally, spring. Now we're test, and we're leading towards what's called an SOS. And the SOS will be the next move. What you could consider an SOS is probably going to be daily closures above this 618 level. So once it starts getting like to here, that's when I'm going to expect SOS. And then it comes down for what's called a backup phase. Now, could it come back as low as where we're trading right now? Yes. Am I saying that's exactly what will happen? No. Okay. This is just the structure using Wyckoff method, and it looks like the exact structure that I've seen when we have a spring, which I'll show you two indicators, and this is going to be really helpful information, guys. Okay. So for one, with the spring, we typically have really bearish price action followed by a volume spike. So you can see if I move my cursor away, where you get this V is where you get an increase in volume followed by a decrease in volume. And we're sitting at higher prices. Now, a second thing is RSI gets very oversold, almost historically oversold. Now, if you zoom out of the chart on the daily and I put my level at where we got our recent dip, the RSI on Theta got to 20. That's pretty much as low as it's gotten ever since back to November of 2018. Okay, so the C word crash that happened in March of 2020 only had an RSI on the daily of 23. Okay, think about that. We actually had a more oversold Theta recently than we had in the C word crash. So that's why I was so bullish on it. That's why I was buying frequently, because I felt that was the best buying opportunity. I don't think we're going to get much lower. I don't think we're going to go lower than $4 ever again on Theta. We could, but I just don't suspect that. Right now, we have room to build support in this area the same way we held it as support before. Now we're getting ready to flip it as a as a true support. And you would only really know what daily closes above this level right here of $7.60. Again, the way you find your buying targets is you pull your fib from the breakout level, which was right here, this line, up to the current all-time high within a wick or so. And then you're able to see your 618 to 786 is your golden pocket. And this is the bearish retracement because you pulled the fibs in reverse. Then I add on the 888, and that's the greatest buying opportunity. And if you did this in advance, you would have seen, let me turn off the volume signature. You would see right here, this dip, if you had your limit orders set at the 888, you would have gotten a $4 theta in your sleep. Again, this violent crash down here, that would have been triggered as well. If you just set your levels at the 888, sure, it went a little lower, but ultimately it didn't last long. It was recovered within 48 hours. And then since lows, the prices are up pretty dramatically. I mean, we're sitting at 80% right now, but we're sitting at 80% right now while theta is at a 7% pullback today. Okay, so just take that into consideration. This is outperforming Dogecoin right now from lows to current price action, right? So it's important that we look at it from that lens, like this is just at a different structure. I believe this is a spring. Now, these movements take time. Like it could take a while for this to play out and for us to start seeing, breakout above our levels. Just got to be patient. That's why I brought that up. So let's move on just quickly with T-Fuel. It's sort of a similar story where I believe we had our selling climax in T-Fuel. Now we're getting ready for our automatic rally. So what's next? What's next is automatic rally, and it could go up into this area or automatic reaction, whatever you want to call it. This structure is different, right? We have our all-time high followed by our first dip. That is our selling climax. Now we've gotten out of that and we might enter our spring. We just have to see how it goes. If it can't hold this support, it'll start heading down lower. So we just got to kind of be chill for now. Again, when Bitcoin's bloody and dominance is up, you could see Bitcoin dominance is up at 47%. It'll really hurt the altcoins. Like you can see Theta and T-Fuel down 6%, Ethereum down 5%. So just consider that, those two things in tandem are really helpful for you to know. Bitcoin being slightly down, it's only $800 down, mixed with Bitcoin dominance being in an uptrend. Again, uptrend, continual higher lows and higher highs will make it so that whenever Bitcoin pulls back, it will really drain the altcoins. So that's why being in a Bitcoin position is nice. And accumulating these altcoins are good for the alt season, but you need to take action in the alt season. Otherwise, you're going to see an 80% pullback or 90% in some circumstances. But I get it. People don't want to buy Bitcoin because it's too expensive. That's always what I hear. I've been hearing that all the time. And that means your portfolio is not protected. So anyways, let's move on to Chainlink. We can see that Chainlink, again, is actually about to retest this 236. The 236 is my favorite level for seeing supports, because once we come down and backtest that as a support, that's typically indicative of continuation to the upside. Now, some of these charts, like the T-Fuel chart, this Chainlink chart, this can actually lead to a spring. Some of these altcoins can get hammered if Bitcoin wants to pull back again to the $30,000 level. That's totally possible. Again, anything's possible in the matrix. So that's why it's better to be considering waiting for buying opportunities and not buying at this time. We could come back up and just see a nice relief rally into the end of this month, into the new moon of September. But be considerate that it could also pull back a little bit and draw a little more support leading into the Shemitah. So I was buying back here. I'm not buying up here. That's what I'm trying to say, the long and short of it. Chainlink is holding this support level. This chart is really kind of ugly. This is a pretty monster pullback for Chainlink, 75% complete. It backtested the previous level of trading range when it went from 20 down to 7 and then had a nice structure. This structure right here might actually be repeating itself all over again, where you can see right here, the top at 20 would be the same as the top at 54. Then you could see the bull trap right here, the same thing right there. And then the pullback coming and then creating what's called a rising gradient bottom, where we have continual higher lows, higher highs, and then we have a last minute spring. That last minute spring came in December, and then it just went literally, wow. Yeah. 450%. And again, that's after already going from the COVID crash up to $20, which was 1,000%. So the total gains of this coin, somewhere around 4,600%. That's pretty damn good. And it made it to the top 10 coins. I remember buying this coin at $2. That was crazy, man. Now it's like watching it go to 54 was also amazing because we called that 54 with Gematria. That was pretty amazing. So I think that it's best right now we just kind of relax on a lot of the entries in these projects just because we've moved up bullish into a new moon. I don't like buying around new moons. I like buying after full moons unless during the full moon time is very bloody. But I like market structure. So I don't care if it's the greatest entry. I like confident entries. That's another key quote of today. You never want to go for the most bloody, craziest buying opportunity unless you have the capital to lose, like unless you have the capital to invest. If you don't, it's better to wait till you have confirmations. So Chainlink's looking okay, but overall the chart's pretty bad. That looks like a blow off top to me. I would say wait on this one if you're looking to make entries. And as for de-risking, you're looking somewhere in like the $30 range. I don't think this will be bullish enough to make it up to $40. Next will be Icon. Wow, today is such a long episode. Yeah, starting next week, definitely going to cut back on the episode times. Probably around 45 minutes to 50 minutes will be much better. But today we needed to cover that ground on the Discord and all that stuff. So, ooh, this looks very good. Oh, man. Perfect. Perfect setup. Look at this W. So you can see right here, this price action. Really nice trend. Got a solid W here. Let's draw out our neckline. We're basically back testing it right now. Daily closes above there, but getting above $1.19, getting that 236 daily closure, that will solidify a breakout. So let's see where this brings us on the W. Again, a W isn't always bullish. It's just, that's a clean W, so we have to pay attention. It's not that great. It's only moving us up to about the $1.50 level, and if this wanted to bull flag for a moment, we could consider that as an opportunity with a conservative pull. Half staff, same level. Yeah, I mean, this is probably only going to make it to $1.50 before it rolls over again, so just be cautious on this one, guys. I think it's going to go to the 382 and roll over, something like that, and then make another W. Okay, this is going to take a while. We're in a very weird stage of the bull run, okay? Everyone, like, this is where we're just going to see a short-term bullish action because it's called the automatic rally. It's a fake out. It's a fake out, and that's why I keep calling it a bull trap, because it's going to get everyone a fucking FOMO at top, but we aren't buying right now. We're sophisticated investors. We're sitting on the sideline waiting for our full moons. Be a wolf. So I really like this right now. I mean, for anyone looking to get entries, this is probably anything around this range is as good as you're going to get. This looks like a support level. Let's pull up the VPVR. Yeah, I don't like that. I would like to see the VPR lower, VPVR, point of control, because it's getting rejected at the VPVR, which is a bearish sign. Let's check RSI. Oh, no. Yeah, this is really precarious chart, guys. Very weird. Very weird. But I'm overall looking at this bullish because of the previous all-time high being like $12. Ooh, yeah, MACD cross on 5 days looking close. Yeah, this is good. This I would feel okay with buying in a downtrend. But again, we got to make our entries when they're at dips. You know, we've already gained so much on this. It's just the W that's looking good. It's been up about 80% from wick to wick. It's just back testing the neckline of the W. The W and the potential bull flag target getting us around $1.45, with the 382 being around $1.52. And you see those are the support wicks. We got one here and those there. So this is probably only going to make it up to $1.50 and then roll over. Pay attention to that, people. Let's move on. I'm going to go to H bar, Hedera hash graph. That was such a fun decode. Okay, yep, again, we see these W's everywhere now. Once ETH makes a W, guys, it makes the rest follow. This might have already broke out. Yeah, this broke out. So this is late to the game on this W. This already concluded. Yep, it already. So disregard this for now. This is probably going to be a bull flag. So it's an altcoin. We could get a little, we don't need to be conservative on our altcoins, of course. And we're looking at about 28 cents, and that'll look like an automatic rally to me too. And that's where a de-risk would be, probably around that 382. And that would also make sense because that's the cluster of trading range right there. Let's see where our VPVR is when we zoom in. Well, we're about at it right. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't move up to that high, but I would say about 30 cents would be the upside de-risking level on that. And right now it's kind of weird. Should have been getting our entries inside of this golden pocket territory like I told you before. You see that 702? That was a very strong support. 15 cents for Hedera hash graph. So that 15 number might be something we could find in the Gematria code, but for the most part, this is pretty classic TA. This is clearly a much stronger coin than most. Let's see how much it pulled back. This thing didn't even pull back that much, guys. Like, honestly, 65% is not much more than Bitcoin pulled back, and it didn't even make it to the 888 fib. We've seen crazy bullish stuff like Theta move all the way back to that level. So this is really good. This coin is actually not being held by weak hands, because only a 65% pullback is about, yeah, well, one thing I will preface is we could have a spring. Now that I'm thinking about it, we could do this. So again, hold off unless you have money to gamble, because we haven't, now that I'm thinking about it, if I use Wyckoff, we haven't had a spring yet, and this looks like it's heading up for an automatic rally, and springs are possible, and especially when you haven't had the craziest dip, this isn't as bloody as most projects, that would make me feel a little bit more cautious on this. So just be patient on this. Probably going to move up to the 382 around 30 cents. Then we would peel back. If it can't hold the support on the 618, it's most likely going to flash down to the 702 around 15 cents again, and even as low as 11 for a spring. Anything after an automatic rally that breaks below previous levels of support is called the spring in Wyckoff. The spring is the blood in the streets. It's the greatest moment to buy, and it's right before a bull run's about to end. It's what market makers do to really shake people out before the bull run gets parabolic. It's a very good tip I just gave everyone. Quant, blow off top. Get ready to see this shit drain. Yeah, I'm so glad I called this. This is gone. Everyone wants to talk about something when it's bullish. Hope you sold. Yep, RSI got to 86. MACD on dailies sloping downwards. Gonna cross bearish. 12 hours looking like shit. 2-day is like, yeah, this is in the clouds, man. This stuff needs to come back down. De-risk. Yeah, this thing, it's probably going to come back. Okay, let's look at this from a... Oh, yeah, this is a hard one to find lots of chart history on. So let's show you real quick, okay? Right here, you have your flat action. Then here you have your what's called an SOS, followed by your backup phase. Then you have a couple of SOSs before you have a parabolic move. This parabolic move leads to RSI being oversold, and then rejections followed by breakdown of structure. So once this has a MACD cross bearish, you're probably going to see it start to break below that previous wick right there, which was the previous rejection here, and then it'll start to confirm that this is what's called a blow off top. And then you start to hold the 382 for a little bit and then slowly move down. This thing could just fucking crash though, right? If Ethereum wants to move up to like $3,300 and then just roll over again, this thing is going to drain, okay? just be careful with stuff like this. You never want to buy projects that are over 60 RSI. Like, I try to keep it at 50 actually. So you see with this thing has been heavily over the 50 level, which I consider bullish. Anytime these things get below 50, it's a much better buying opportunity than being above 60. Anything above 60, I just don't even care about for a buying opportunity because it's going to start to peel back, or it could just go parabolic and I would already have missed the boat. So that's, again, a huge tip for anyone who just wants a quick idea of how RSI works. You never want to be buying into coins that on the daily RSI are already getting above 60, especially with a positive slope, so that it's moving up. Now you see it coming down, you want to wait for it to catch structure. And what I'll show you, another nice tip to make this TA good, we have a little bit of a trend going. So this could move back to around this trend line at 47, and that might be your good buying opportunity. Then it would be holding this trend. And near the end of the year, it'll start going to 90 because that's what alt seasons do. Alt seasons just fucking go way higher than normal. So look for this RSI trend line if you hold this coin or you want to buy it. I mean, again, it's just super overvalued right now and it's ready to correct. And we called that on, I believe, the last episode or 2 episodes before it. So good job on our end over here in Waters Above Crypto Land. Let's move on to Filecoin. I don't even have that saved. This one's for longtime supporter Betty. Much love to you, Betty. If you made it to an hour and 11 minutes and 11 seconds of our transmission. Well, it's at 65, which is reverse 56, which is a very, very important note. Oof, okay. This looks like a buying opportunity. Thanks, Betty. See, that's what we need. We need people to share buying opportunities. We don't want to look at coins that are fucking blown up. I'm going to pull reverse fib on this from the breakout. I'm only going to pull it to these wicks right here because these are blow off volatility wicks. I'm going to add in my 888 so you guys could see how I do that because for some reason it's not on my chart. So I'm going to go here, just pick a random, oh, there you go, 888. I'll turn it green because that's my green go. Green means buy. And you can see it dipped into the green and now it's rejecting off the 786. That's not good, but it's probably because it's gained a fuck ton. That's okay. What about RSI? Ooh, very solid trend on RSI though. Nobody could call that not a perfect trend. 3 touch points and then parabola. Bada bing, bada boom. Yep, this could come back too, but it's unlikely. I would expect this comes back and holds previous support at these highs right here. Kind of got a little wedge thing going on. So this, if it pulls back, it's probably going to be something like this. Most. It'll hold this topside trend line, and then it'll just have new higher lows. Something like that. TA lesson for y'all on the RSI. And that's bearish divergence right here. So you have... don't worry about it. It's irrelevant. It's not bearish divergence. I'm speaking ahead of myself because I thought we were looking at another altcoin. Anywho, this has a lot of bearish qualities to it, but again, that's more of a buying opportunity as opposed to that quant chart we just looked at was not a buying opportunity. Something like Ethereum, that's not a buying opportunity. Those things are over exhausted. Now with this, I could see there being potential for a little more of a pullback, but that 888 is just such a great buying opportunity all the time. So anyone who got into Filecoin around $50, good job to you. Could it go lower for a spring? Absolutely, but that's just an altcoin, and if you're in the altcoin game, then you've been here before, where it's highly unpredictable. So it could be something like this, where we have like a spring action, and then it starts to go and move as such. But this is a much better buying opportunity than some of the other coins, I gotta admit. Let's look at some of the RSI and, sorry, I meant to say MACD, excuse me, 2-day, 3-day. Okay, it's not bad. 3-day MACD cross bullish, it's hard to argue that. And then also, if Bitcoin can get bullish into like the 47s, 48s, maybe even touch on 50 and then start to roll over, but it holds structure, and then we see Bitcoin dominance start to decrease slightly, that could be a very bullish sign to have a relief rally into the altcoins. But I don't think that's necessarily how it's going to go. I believe Bitcoin is just going to go back to like 70%, kind of like right here. And when it goes to 70, it'll probably be around the end of November into very early December. So we'll see like a 65 to 70 Bitcoin dominance. And then when that starts to roll over, get ready to see the craziest gains you've ever... Oh my goodness. I'm just thinking about it. Like, wow. The patience to wait for that moment. Whew. It's going to be nice, guys. It's going to be nice. When the darkest winter comes for most, you're going to be cashing out, and it's going to be beautiful. Yeah, this kind of looks like a classic uptrend. I would suspect it bumps into the trend line probably by new moon of September or a little bit later. Rejection. Then into October once it starts to get back above this trend line, that's when it's going to start to move. So something like this for Bitcoin dominance. Boom. Boom. Like real fast. Like the same way that shit fell will be the same way it goes up. Because it's all manipulated. It's all manipulated to work this way. Bitcoin's liquidity flows into the alts. The alts do okay, and then there's a crash. This is when shitcoin season happens. When Bitcoin dominance gets to the lows. And that's why shitcoin season is so quick. It's like, it's like 2 weeks, and then it just ends very violently, And there's nothing wrong with shitcoins if you could get into them when RSI, I'm mixing up my words. When Bitcoin dominance is at 70, buy shitcoins if you want, because it's the best time. You're getting into them right before they all moon. But that might take all the way until November. So that's why I'm very adamant with people about buying into these shitcoins right now. It's like, you might get a better buying opportunity, but it won't be by much. Seriously. Like in the grand scheme of things, you're going to zoom out into October, November, when those times come to pass, and you're going to remember these words that I told you. And you're going to be like, wow, man, he saw it. And the reason why is because I've been looking at the charts from the past, and that just keeps happening. So let's show you one final thing, kind of look into what's going on here. Look at this. Look at that gain from 52 to 72% dominance. Here, 56 to 73% dominance. And this is when Bitcoin was the only show in town, obviously. Then the altcoins got introduced. And during that time, this was Bitcoin's blow off top, December of 2020. Sorry. I take that back. Right there. That was around the time frame where Bitcoin was hitting its all-time high, 70% dominance, and then it flushed into January, lows at 35 dominance. Imagine what the altcoins did by then. You could look at any chart. It was insane. And then look, it starts this W, confirms back on the neckline right here in the single daily candle, and then just reverses trend to the upside. Okay, so that's why Bitcoin dominance is pretty amazing, and it's something you should keep an eye on, because once you learn how to do TA on it, it's another great tool for the altcoin holders, because you're going to be able to determine when Bitcoin dominance is starting to get above 60, it's a really good time to start looking into buying alts, but it might just take some time. Like we're sitting at 47 RSI right now. With RSI 47 Bitcoin dominance, when Bitcoin dominance is below 50%, and we're seeing Bitcoin pull back like 2%, and then every alt pulls back 8%, it makes sense to you why when Bitcoin is at a 70% dominance and starts losing dominance, when Bitcoin is trading sideways, you can see an altcoin go up 20% in a single day. It's just a liquidity shift. And because Bitcoin is all of the money in the space pretty much, it doesn't take a lot to move the smaller cap coins quite a lot. And when you add on leverage and stable coins, imagine. That's why these coins can moon. But it's a patience thing. People have a hard time with that, and they have a hard time with greed. When it gets pumped, when to sell. That's what they struggle with. So we'll focus on exit strategies as we get closer to later October into November, because that's when it'll start to matter. Between now and then, it's more about just educating ourselves, looking at the trends of the market, waiting for our full moons, buying the dips, growing the community, focusing on like what we're going to do with our wealth in the future, you know, making connections, thinking about things like a housing market crash, stock market crash, credit line freezes. Like that's the kind of stuff I want us to focus on between now and the end of the year. Because once crypto starts going parabolic, we don't give a shit about anything else at that time. We have a 30 to 40 day window to get these profits, okay? So for right now, we are very realistic. We're being conservative. We go heavier in our plays as the fall season continues into October, November. That's when we are just accumulation. So between now and then, it's more of waiting for dips, accumulate as much as you possibly can, as long as you're being conservative, of course, and then we get ready for the December timeframe. November, December, January, we really want to be focused on gains, because this is where you can get, you know, life-changing wealth. You need to pay attention. But for now, it's all about just being focused on the bigger picture. Don't get lost in all that noise. And if something is confusing you, ask our community, ask the people in our community what's going on. Should I be focused on this? Is this something that's true, or is it just FUD? And have our members, you know, we're all here to help. You know, don't ever disrespect anyone. If anyone asks a question, and, you know, don't just be like, yeah, of course it's FUD, you idiot. Don't talk like that. Be respectful, be nice to people, because we're all here for the same reason, which is to expand, to learn, to grow. And we're all at different stages. Some people are older and they're new to tech and they're not really sure how to do more technical things. So that's what the crypto help Discord text channel is for. Little things like that. So anyways, this has been the longest episode I've ever done. Again, I did want to just clear a lot of the information in regards to getting into our Discord in the beginning, and also helping each other in the Discord, the point of the Discord, potentially upgrading our Discord in regards to the way we use it for anyone who knows how to use Discord level 2 and 3 with all these newer features. Let's think tank ways to make the server even more incredible than it already is. Of course, you've seen I've changed the aesthetic quite a bit, so I like the way it looks a lot. I think it's easier now with having the emojis in front of the text channel names to get a little bit more of an understanding of what's going on in that particular text channel. Again, we've unlocked threads, we've unlocked downloadable content, we've unlocked live streams, all of that stuff. So I appreciate anyone who's made it through this whole episode. I'm so grateful for all of you. It's been a beautiful last couple months in this market. We're getting bullish energy. So now's the time to look for de-risking, going opposite of the herd, being patient, and just level-headed. If it's nice and beautiful where you're at in the world, go ahead and enjoy the sun. You know, enjoy this beautiful weather if you have it. If you're somebody who's in the wintertime, like my Aussie family and New Zealand family, you know, I know it's rough over there. I know there's lockdowns. I know there's like spiritual warfare going on, but you have this community. This community will keep the light in you. That's what we're here for, okay? Because when next winter comes for us, you're going to be in the summertime, and your light and energy will help us. It'll be beautiful. It's a big family here. So enjoy the rest of your weekend in the Matrix. I'll be catching you guys on the next YouTube video, and I do have a small decode coming soon for Shemitah and the upcoming Jubilee. Enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.